Hello, hello, good evening to you all. This is Andreea Zoia, and I am incredibly happy, pumped, excited to welcome you to the first, the only Confidence Cafe of its kind. It's virtual for now, but for sure we will invite you to a Confidence Cafe here in Dubai. So I have been wanting to create this space to invite you all to have a dose of caffeine, but also of confidence. Confidence being the word, the concept that has been driving me like a strong force through life. The most important thing is that I am a presenter and a confidence coach today, but since I was born in my young years, in my childhood, I couldn't even spell the word confidence. So what I want to do with this Confidence Cafe is invite you all to have your coffee the way you like it and relax back and allow me to invite you to this cozy, calm, peaceful place that is filled with caffeine and plenty of confidence. So, you know, many people go to coffee shops for endless reasons. Sometimes, of course, they go on a date, sometimes they go and work, they browse the net, they do presentations. Sometimes they have those conversations that shift their mind, and somehow they walk from that coffee shop differently. And with Confidence Cafe, I want to set a strong intention that for all of you tuning in right now live, especially today at the launch of Confidence Cafe, that will also happen to you. So for the launch of Confidence Cafe, I looked hard in my database of high achiever, rock stars, amazing humans, and I said to this amazing man, would you help me launch something that I have been brewing for a long time? So with no further ado, please welcome to Confidence Cafe, my first guest with lots of love, power, and confidence. Please help me from home welcome the one and only Ben Ouattara!
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Andreea, for having me here.
Oh my gosh!
Thank you so much. Sharing this coffee. Hello to you out there live right now. I'm very happy to be here, inaugurating the first episode. And yeah,
Thank you. For those of you who, you know, if you were living under a rock, I don't know, if you haven't heard of Ben Ouattara, he is an incredible motivational speaker, high performance and mindset coach on a mission to truly disrupt limitations, fears, doubts, whatever is on your way, on the way to you achieving your potential, you achieving your goals. So he has his big mark and mantra, which is, I am possible. More on that, plus at the Confidence Cafe, we are going to test his confidence, not only learn from him. So I'm going to pretend I don't know much about confidence, and I will take notes. Okay. So I have a pen from you, the expert. I want to start by learning from you, what is confidence to you?
So first of all, for those out there who don't know me, I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. My name is Ben Ouattara. I'm a high performance and mindset coach, and I really help people to reach their goals, not by telling them what they should do, because I feel that a lot of people focus too much on the strategy, the how, the steps, but what's holding them back when they actually know, because a lot of people actually know what they need to do, but they just don't have that energy inside of them to move forward, to take the first step, to actually start moving. And that's why I really help them to remove these mental blocks and these emotional blocks. And one of the reasons why this is a strong focus for me is because this has also been my big struggle. I really believe that in life, the areas where we learn to overcome certain challenges and limitations, once we really understand it, is the area where we're going to be able to help and to give back the most. And most people, like whether it's because they lost weight or they were able to be successful in business or in any other challenge that they had in their lives, that's when they can actually help other people to follow that path. And it's not only theory, but it's also practical. And when we talk about confidence, I believe it's important. I love definitions of words, because I grew up in Ivory Coast. My first language is French. When I came to Germany, I was like 14. So, you know, I had to really, like, my mom is German, so I could understand German, but I wasn't good. I couldn't write or read. So I had to really get into the German language and really, you know, understand words. And I was really big on definitions. I started learning English when I was same age, 14.
Okay.
So to me also, it was like a lot of times I hear words, but I had to really understand, you know, what does it mean? What's the translation in the other language?
Harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so definitions of words have always been something that I was very interested in, because people use words in a certain way, but is it really the meaning of that word? You know? And that's why it's important, because I feel that a lot of people confuse self-esteem, self-confidence, and confidence.
True.
And they put them all in the same pot.
In one bucket, yeah.
Exactly. So it's important, because I believe that, you know, before you start doing something, before you actually develop a competence, you can't be confident. You need courage. Now, confidence is something that we usually have in an area that is our comfort zone, something that we master. It's something that feels comfortable.
Yeah.
It's the known. So everything that you know, people that you know, places that you know, things that you know, you feel very comfortable in an area, in a field that you know. Now, when you step outside of your comfort zone, you get into the unknown. And that's when you have fear, you have doubts, you have so many internal thoughts that come up, and you need courage. You also need to develop competence, because let's say this. I can ask you, are you a confident car driver? And I say, yeah, I'm confident. I know I can drive a car. But before you drove the car for the first time, were you a confident car driver? Are you a confident plane pilot? No. And it's an important emotion. And I'm like, I'm not confident flying a plane.
Please don't.
Because if I was, I got this, let me fly this plane. Now, I could act confident,
Yeah.
but what does that really do? I don't have the competence. Now, I believe that where the crossover comes, you know, we have different areas. You have, for example, social confidence.
Right.
So some people, they're very confident going out, maybe because of their culture, their background, the way they were raised. So they're amongst many people and they're comfortable breaking the ice, or in sales, or in communication, because this is a skill that they've trained for a very long time. Now, sometimes we see someone that's out there and they don't have no limitation to talk to someone. So we feel someone that's shy,
Yeah.
they don't talk to people,
Yeah.
so they're not confident. And someone that's out there, that's loud, that's talking to everyone, they're confident. And we feel that it's almost like a character trait.
Yeah.
No, that's just one domain where they're confident. That same person can be now in a meeting room or in a in front of a camera, they can get a word out of their mouth. Why? Because they don't have the confidence in this domain. Because you also have the area of expertise. So if you're an expert in the field, I know so many people, if they're in a gym, because they're very fit, they're very comfortable in that environment. You put them in a business suit and in a meeting, now they become nervous, or to talk to someone in a social environment. But same thing with some people in business, in a field that they know, very comfortable. Very, like for example, we say go on stage and speak about a topic. If it's your topic, it's different than if it's a topic that you don't know nothing about. Because then you don't have that expertise. Then you also have the confidence of your own body. How good do you feel about the way you look? That's another form of confidence. And then also, you know, physical ability. Can you climb that tree? I was like, no, I can do same thing. So I think that a lot has to do with competence. Now, to develop a competence, you need a goal. Once you have a goal, you're like, I want this. It's forcing me to go out of what I know, what I can do. It's going to be uncomfortable. I'm not going to be good. Now, I think that where self-confidence comes in is where the word confidence, when we look at the definition, is also the trust, the faith in something.
Yeah.
So I trust in my ability to learn. I'm confident that I can achieve something. So I'm not confident in flying a plane, for example, but I'm confident that if I want to, I can learn it. So I don't doubt myself.
Yeah.
I know that whatever, if I'm not good at public speaking, the first time I was on stage, I wasn't confident. I was not confident. I was scared. I was afraid. I wasn't good. I wasn't as good as I could be. And you can prepare as much as you want. You can read how many books you want about swimming. If you haven't been in the water, you're not a confident swimmer.
And that's why now we can't stop you from talking.
Exactly. Because now you just develop the habit. But that's what I mean. It's just like now when you have the self-confidence, and self-confidence is now the confidence that I can actually achieve something.
Quick question. What about people that I meet and they tell me, I'm not confident to change my job because my security depends on it? How do we help those people build the confidence to take the step. They are aware they are unhappy, but they are not confident because of lack of security, because of lack of financial security.
I think that confidence is the wrong word, because you shouldn't feel confident. If you, let's say this, you want to go into an industry, right? You don't know the industry. You don't know if you can make it. You don't know how you're going to make it. You don't understand it enough. That's why you don't have the confidence. Let's say, for example, starting from zero. Some people have started from zero many times. Entrepreneurs that have started a project, it failed, you didn't have no money, you had to borrow money, you did it again, you did it again. Now, you're not afraid of it anymore that much. So now you're more confident because you know, I've been in so many situations that I didn't know how to come out of, that I came out of. So I have self-confidence. I don't know if this is going to work 100%, but I don't need to know it. But now, how do we get out of it?
Okay.
It's important to, first of all, the thing is, when we're in our comfort zone, what gets us out? Either you're inspired by something you want,
or pain,
or you're forced.
Yeah.
You have a conflict or challenge, right? Then you need to make a choice. Do I actually want this or not? But a choice is just a moment. So you need to commit. Now you make a commitment. A commitment to me is choice over time. A choice is one day. Today I make a decision. Tomorrow, you don't know what. So I need to create an environment that forces me to stay in an environment. So I quit my job, I put myself on the line, I give myself 3 months to start doing something. Many people, when they lose their job, now all of a sudden they're able to do something. But to quit it on their own, they don't. Why? Because they react to life instead of creating a life. Ooh, now this is something.
They react to life instead of
creating. And it's the same letters. If you look at react and create,
whoa,
create puts you into power. I decide, I create it for myself. Now, or I can wait until life pushes me out of my comfort zone. You take responsibility, but that now needs courage. Courage is a word that people don't like because courage doesn't feel good. Confidence feels good. Confidence is in the comfort zone. It's what I know, with the people I know, my expertise. Now I have to go outside. But if you look at everything where you developed confidence, at a stage where you didn't have confidence, it involved a challenge to force you out, or you wanted more. You needed to make a choice, commit to something over a period of time, and then you needed courage to go through the different stages of competence. So you start, you're not really good, but you stick to it and you focus and you make a decision, because if you could at any time stop, you will not go to the end of that bridge to actually develop a competence. Now you start to become better and better. If someone goes on stage and speaks 100 times, they will become better. They will just feel more comfortable. Now you come into a new domain. Maybe you speak on stage, but you can't speak in front of a camera. Or the other way around. But why? Because you haven't done it enough, because it's uncomfortable. And people think there's a magic sauce that I need to just be confident and then I will not feel nervous and I will not need courage.
No. What was your weakest point when you were highly pushed out of your comfort zone in your career and you had to really find a lot of courage within?
There were many.
Pick one, whichever one comes first.
Yeah, the one that comes to mind now is...
Well, you really had to work hard. You really had to make calls. You really had to go and meditate and think, and you were asking yourself...
the thing is, yeah. So, I mean, I've been in Dubai now for 7 years. I moved out here, it's a long story, but I came here with 1,000, euros in my pocket.
Oh, that's a lot. I came with $200.
But how much was left after I paid for the visa and everything was kind of the same. But it's basically, it's not much. If you look at someone to come to a country where you don't know anyone, you don't have no contacts, and you're just building something from nothing, not getting a job, but really starting with a company, is like, I just started like that. Now, after 1 year, it was like, I realized that this is not, the business partnership that I was imagining, the way direction the company was going. There were many things that were like, made me decide to step out, which is already something, you have something that you already invested time and energy and money in, which is where a lot of people are that have a job or they have a specific relationship or they have something, and they're like, even though it's not working, I don't want to let that go because I feel like I invested so much, but it's sunk cost. So that already is a choice to cut yourself off from that and start from zero.
Okay.
And actually put yourself in a position where it feels like you're starting from zero again.
Okay.
So then I was here in Dubai, and I was at a point where I was on the edge of, should I just go back to Germany? Because I have nothing. I had someone that had a wedding, invited me, and I filmed there because I was, in videography. So he gave me a little bit of, that's all I had, like then I had this, so I could just survive. I had a friend that told me you can sleep here, I have a guest bedroom. Then I was basically for 9 months, I was like homeless here in Dubai. I was just staying at people's places, living on their couches. And I didn't stay.
Were you having that feeling at that time that I can do whatever, or your confidence, we can say, was a little bit shaken?
See, now this is the important point, because I believe that emotional states are just this, states. There is never, you can't say someone is like this. You will have a day. Within a day, your emotions can go from here to there. You can doubt, and then you create that confidence, you believe and you doubt, and believe and doubt, and you can go, all over the place, right? And that's why action is so important, because people can be in that state of doubt, maybe I can do it, maybe not, and you're there for 2 years, but you didn't make no decision. That's why commitment is important. So you get tested constantly. It's not only that I said I quit this. I was at a point where I was dating someone that told me I can't be with someone that's financially unstable. So I feel that that's the point where not only self-confidence, but self-esteem comes in.
Yep.
Because a lot of times, like I said, the self-confidence comes from the competence that you have somewhere. So I'm good at this, so I'm confident. But no matter how many things you know, there's always going to be much more that you can't do and that you don't know. So now if you attach your sense of self-worth to how much money you make, how intelligent you are, how good you are, what the results are in the external world, your self-worthiness. I'm not good enough until I have this. Now you start to get in trouble, right? And there were moments like that. That's the thing, you shake, yes, because the thing is, people in the outside will tell you that. That's also, many people have these beliefs. They will tell you, if you don't have this, this is, not good enough. So you believe that. And then that's when you also have to really go inside of yourself and really ask yourself, what do I really want? And I will never forget it, because self-confidence, or it has to do with trust, right? The trust of faith. So if I trust you,
please do, because I trust you.
Exactly. But if I trust you, why would I trust you? Because you've proven trust is earned. If you have this camera crew here, you trust them to do what they do right. But if someone walks off the street, I can do this, like, why should I trust you? Where's your track record? What have you done before? So we have proof for ourselves that we create, that we can rely on, where our self-worth comes from. So I'm like, if I really believe in this, I need to prove it to myself. And I had situations where literally I did not know how I'm going to pay for food in the next month. And then I was like, I had a meeting, because I was getting meetings everywhere, left and right, doing visa runs, because I didn't have the visa stamp. I went to Oman, came back. So then I was in a meeting with a very, big company here in Dubai. They had their own media team and everything, but they needed a video production. And they said, oh, we have a team, they have footage, you can use it. And they showed me, and I said, this is bad, I can't use this. I don't know who filmed this, but this is very bad. And they said, what do you mean? So they look, this, that, and I told them, and they say, oh man, we paying this person a salary of like 25,000 a month, and they can't even do a right job. I'm gonna fire them, I'm gonna hire you. And then I say, you get allowance, you get this, you get that, insurance, boom. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and the thing is this, everyone around you is going to tell you, just do it, it's safe. Look, man, you can always go back to your plans later, take that job, it's 25,000 a month, now you'll have your apartment, you'll have this, you'll have peace, because now you've been like for 6 months, you're sleeping on people's couches, sometimes you're in their life, then they come, they want to talk to you, you don't have your privacy, you don't have your, they had one, suitcase. So I was just at this point, and that's where I think the make or break it things comes, because when you commit to something, you get tested constantly. You have one idea. You're like, I'm going to do this. But then, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. Oh, maybe I should do this. And then it comes this. Now it's testing you. Now, if I don't trust myself enough to go this journey.
But what if it's not, maybe it's not lack of trust. Maybe it's scarcity. Maybe it's the fear of I can't provide for myself. How do you distinguish that the reason you jump on different options is because of lack of trust in self. Maybe it's the actual fear of providing for yourself.
I mean, I think that
there could be more reasons, right?
There could be, but now the thing is this: I've not met one person that was successful that said I did something for 3 months and then it worked immediately. Yes, but most people that fail, and I've talked to many, business coaches or consultants, they told me the majority of business owners that fail is not because they didn't have a great idea, it's because they stopped too soon. You give up too early because you don't have the patience and because you don't believe in it long enough and you don't have a long breath. Because we expect that because we intellectually understand something and we have this idea, it should work. We sell it to ourselves very fast. But it's not that easy.
And today we also have the instant gratification that is affecting the way we see reality. We expect things to happen as fast as opening an app, ordering something, and
for example,
then something being delivered in less than 6 hours from Amazon.
There are places, for example, I grew up in Ivory Coast. I just saw a documentary recently. You have so many people that they have to go to the market and hustle and sell and find a way to make a living every single day. They don't have the choice to say, oh, I'm going to get a job and I'm going to quit this is not going to work, because there is no option. Life made them commit to something. And then once you stick to something long enough, you start to develop a confidence to I know how to do this. I know how to sell. I know that every day that I go out, I can create. And that's the thing. As entrepreneurs, I think a lot of times, when it comes to going after your goals, people sell it to just believe it. And if you can dream it, you can achieve it. No, you have to fight for it. And it's not easy. It's like a muscle that you train. So it's like weight that you lift. It's hard before it becomes easy because you get stronger. But most people can't go through it. And they will start to find reasons why it's too hard, I can't do it. But honestly, a lot of people that quit, when you really say it's about survival and it's about scarcity, a lot of people have high standards. I lowered my standards a lot. I had almost no cost. At the end of the day, if you don't have money, you have time. If you don't have time, you should have money. Otherwise, what are you doing? And you don't have, I did many things on the side to just exchange value, to be able to eat and to be able to even have a car. I exchanged services, but I did not lock myself into a situation where I felt, okay, this is more comfortable for me right now. And now I have more time, because the more time I give myself, the more time I'm going to need. I was forced to. And honestly, that was the thing is, it didn't happen one time.
Many times. The test came many times.
I said, no, I'm not going to take this job.
Okay. I was sure, of course you were going to say no.
3 months later, that same company hired me for a project, and what I made in 1 month would have been my salary for an entire year.
Powerful.
And the thing is, this happened over and over again. I didn't do it one time. I started from zero, and I started in a new industry when I didn't know anything.
Powerful.
3-4 times. But the thing is this, the more often you do it, and the more often you've proven it to yourself.
You build that within.
Trust is not only in yourself. It's also trust in the universe. You can call it God. There are many things that I didn't do. I met the right people at the right time. Certain situations came that I couldn't have. I can't say I did this. But I created the environment for this to even be able to happen.
You are helping a lot of people in your online group coaching.
Yeah.
What are the most popular, the top blockages that people come and they say, oh, Ben, I can't do that because can you help me with this? What could be top 3 blockages, mental blockages that people have that don't allow them to accomplish their goals? Because that's what you do. You take them to their goals, right?
Yes. Perfectionism.
Perfectionism, yay.
Perfectionism, overthinking, confusion.
Lack of
because
clarity.
of too many options.
Shiny objects.
Wanting to keep too many options open and not making a decision. Not making a clear decision.
And how do you help them in your sessions?
It's a process.
Okay.
Because each person has a different stage. Some people have emotional blocks. They have fears. They for example, I just said that confidence in something comes from your competence.
Sure.
But you can be very competent and still not confident.
Yep.
Because you're a perfectionist.
Yep.
No matter how good you are, you feel that you're not good enough. So you can become better and better. So this person has a different limitation from someone that's just completely all over the place, not structured, can't really put priorities straight. It's important that's why I said that the process of commitment to really have a clear goal. Some people don't even have a clear goal. They just start somehow. They start to brainstorm about things that might come in 1 year, have nothing to do with now. So they're not effective with their time. And then they say, I'm doing so much, but it's not moving forward, and then I quit.
What a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. So there are many different factors. And what I do is I'll always tell people, like, I'm not teaching things to people. I'm helping them to, first of all, analyze and discover themselves. And that's where self-awareness is so important. You're not even aware of your own emotions, your own thoughts, your own patterns.
Like Seneca said, know thyself.
You need to. The people are focusing on the outside. You learn from books, you learn from other people, you learn from mentors. But if you don't learn from yourself, and if you look at your life, you'll see that many things.
What does it mean to learn from yourself?
First of all, observe yourself. Anything that you want to learn, you observe.
Close to mindfulness? Close, maybe.
Very close, but I think that, we all have an image of ourselves that is based on what? The past. So many people don't really study. Many people don't have no idea what happened this year. They just have a couple of points and a couple of references and the generalization.
True.
So how can you assess something that you don't measure?
Said the Germany knew.
You have to measure things. Look, it's like people that say, I make a lot of money, I don't really spend nothing, but I have nothing left at the end.
Let's
or
look
calories.
at the Excel sheet. Yeah.
I don't eat really much, but I can't lose weight. It's because you don't even know where you're spending money.
Have you always been like this, measuring, being analytical, being very detailed?
No, I had to learn this.
Oh.
This is something.
So us, the other people, we have a chance to.
That's one thing that I believe that I can learn anything. But I cannot learn everything.
You can learn anything, but not everything.
I could learn any language in the world, but I cannot learn all.
You speak French, German,
Spanish, Dutch,
English, and confidence. You speak confidence too.
Yeah.
And just to make a quick break, since I knew that you speak Dutch, I didn't know Dutch. You speak Dutch too?
Yeah, I speak Dutch, yeah. I studied in Dutch 4 years in Holland.
How do you say confidence in Dutch?
That I don't know.
Tell me something in Dutch. Tell me something nice. Tell them something nice.
Ik kan een beetje Nederlands praten, omdat ik in Maastricht gestudeerd heb, visuele communicatie. En ja, dan praat ik nu een beetje Nederlands. But it's very close to German, It's like Spanish is close to French.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's the thing that...
Because you speak more languages, I want you to quickly tell me what does this word mean. Adumbrate. It's an English word.
That's adumbrate, but the way you pronounce it didn't sound English.
Okay.
It sounded like...
I was joking because you're influencing me. I don't know the pronunciation.
Okay.
Let's just make up the pronunciation. It's adumbrate. Adumbrate.
Well, I don't know, like, what you want me to do now?
You are in an interview with someone and they say adumbrate and you're like, I don't know what adumbrate is. And then you say, and you pick up the conversation and you put the word into...
I don't know. The thing is this, like, I see a sentence in that word. That's not me saying that, but somehow I see a dumb brat, okay? So then I would say a dumb brat, someone that says, this dumb brat, so whatever. It's just like when you actually speak negatively of someone else, you say, that's a dumb brat. And it's just kind of like a slang from, people that want to say that you're actually gossiping about someone else. It's like, you're adumbrating.
You know what? Damn you, because he was close.
Why? What does it mean?
It means to give a summary.
To give a summary?
Yeah. Okay, we're not very far. I have.
That's a real word, right? It's an English word.
It's English word. Just like...
I thought it was just made up.
Just like cupidity.
So I know Cupid is the angel of love. So cupidity, I would say, means to... Cupidity. Stupidity is the act of being stupid. So cupidity might be the act of spreading love.
Cupidity is to have greed.
Really?
Really. But what I love, and I want you all to pay attention since you came to Confidence Cafe, that he is doing, of course, a phenomenal job at taking the word and creating meaning. And that's what we have to do sometimes in life. Last one. Nadir.
I'm going to do something different now. I'm going to say what I would say actually in normal situations. I would say, I don't know, can you explain that word to me?
Well, I thought because you're such a famous peak performance coach and well-traveled man, you would know Nadir. I'm surprised you don't know Nadir.
No, I actually don't know. There are many things I don't know, but I'm always open to learn.
I'm really happy to teach you today that Nadir is it means that this is the lowest point in anything.
Really? Nadir?
Nadir.
So is it like the bottom of the ocean?
In anything.
Ah.
It's just the lowest point in a relationship, the lowest point in business.
Why do these words all sound not English? They sound like, I don't know.
I will keep
Greek
them
or
and
something.
check them afterwards.
But you see, that was actually good. I just need to say something to this.
But I love what you did, because I wanted... Okay, so everyone who is going to come to Confidence Cafe is going to have their confidence tested, because I know they are overly confident and highly competent. So if they come in this seat here, we have to test them a little.
But I want to say something to normal situations, because I feel that, you know, when I was saying about expertise, for example, some people, if they, for example, in a room and we talk about a topic, for example, we talk about a topic that I know, I'm going to be confident. If we talk about a topic that I don't know, I might be like...
What topic you don't know?
No, but I'm just saying. For example, I don't know this word, right? So some people might now, their energy might go down. So you might be like, oh, you know what? Right now here in this environment, I don't like it because I don't know enough. I can contribute. So either I'm going to fake it and act like I know, or if I'm truly confident, I don't have no problem to say, I don't know anything. I can learn from you. Absolutely. That's also confidence. Absolutely. Sometimes people act like they know, but now you stay stupid because you don't learn anything.
I wasn't even trying to taste you, but I said just for the entertainment, for the sake.
Yeah, but for games, I'm like, I can make a fool out of myself and just try. But if I'm in situations, because I used to be like this. I used to act like I know because I didn't want to feel stupid.
We don't have to.
But that actually comes from low self-esteem.
What is your favorite word?
My favorite word, power.
What is your least favorite word?
Impossible.
What turns you on?
What turns me on? Challenges.
What turns you off?
What turns me off? Negativity, criticism, like complaining.
What sound or noise do you love? What sound or noise do you hate?
The negative one. There's a good but there's this one. I hate this sound.
You hate it?
I hate this
hopelessness.
One. Yeah, like, you know what? How do you do?
Poor me.
Could be better. Like.
What is your favorite curse word?
My favorite curse word?
Okay, you can mime it. I don't know. Right in Dubai. I don't know.
Snap.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh my.
Quickly!
Astronaut.
Okay. What profession would you not like to do?
Psychiatrist.
You would not like to be a psychiatrist?
No.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the gate?
Welcome back.
You were so fast on the answer.
I don't know, man. Like it felt like it just came out of me. I don't know.
You said welcome back?
Yeah.
Well.
You asked me to ask this fast.
Welcome back to Confidence Cafe with Ben Ouattara. Can you tell us 3 people that you consider super confident, that you look up to, and that are also in your life? 3 people that you personally know?
There's so many, you know, because based on, you know, actually it's a good point because, you know, when it comes to role models, I think that we look at people who are confident in an area, and a lot of times people, you know, they think that someone would be confident in everything, right? And then I'm just like, I have role models, for example, when it comes to, for example, communication. And I'm like, they're so confident in this area and I want to learn from them, their competence. And then, but they might not be confident in other areas in their life. And I feel that, you know, just to bring an example, you know, someone that everyone knows, for example, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was very confident on stage because it was his expertise and with his body sense, physical. But as soon as he was in a social environment, completely different element of confidence. Now, is he confident or not? Usually people would say no because they're going to look at this and they say this is fake. But everyone has that in certain areas. So I really, when I think about it, I don't have one person in mind where I would say across the board in every single segment is confident.
Right.
And that's actually what I take from it, because I would be like, I also have different standards. You know, for example, I would say someone is not really confident or competent in a certain area, but for someone else they are, because I can see certain things because I'm better.
Yeah.
Exactly, you know. So that's why I just like to play with it. But what it helps me is also to, even the people who are my role models.
Yep.
If I take them out of this one environment, they're just as human and unsure and need courage in certain other areas.
Right.
So I need guys in the gym that are super strong and confident, and then they can go talk to a girl, or they're in a meeting and they're nervous. So then it allows me also to feel okay. Because I think that this is a very big thing, because people sometimes, and I feel especially men, sometimes feel like they can't show weakness, or you're not allowed to sometimes be afraid or scared. But without being afraid, there is no courage. It doesn't even exist.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
So that's why I just feel that
opposite forces.
It's a lot of times we glorify people because when we look up to them, we only see them in this one position and never outside of it. So then when I thought about
especially on social media.
Especially on social, because why would someone present themselves, and if they have an area where they're uncomfortable, they start and they develop that. Like I would need courage to jump out of a plane and do skydive, and say, I have a friend of mine, he started doing his skydive license so he can go and jump on his own.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I said, this is something, and he filmed everything on social media step by step by step, and he had to do it over and over. And then you jump and he's in the air, they tell him turn like this, turn like that, and then you just like, now we get to a point where he's comfortable, he's confident that he can do it. And then these are the things where I really, I have so many people. No, because I'm too heavy. I can't jump in tandem. I have to jump alone. 90 kilos is maximum. I weigh 108.
I lose weight.
I need to lose 18 kilos. You know how I look.
Would you jump if you would be in...
Yeah, I would do it.
Yeah?
I'm going to do it. I'm going to find, but it's like I said, you can do anything but not everything. So you have to pick your battles. So there are certain things where, there are many areas where I'm not confident.
I told you this, but I haven't told the audience. When I first met Ben, I was like, oh, okay, tall, very tall. As he said, 100 something kilograms, and this magnetic presence and energy. And I want to ask, and of course I was intimidated. Of course I was like, oh, Mother Maria, help me here. Breathe deeper. Hi, Ben. And then we became friends. And I realized one of the most powerful characteristics that I don't know if many people who haven't met you know is your humility. I am so touched by your power and by your humility, because that's what I was able to connect with you. I'm someone more perceptive, more sensitive, more empath. And when I sensed your humility, I was like, there is nothing to fear here. But a quick question, speaking of your background and you being mainly German, are you mainly German? Are you a mix? In terms of identity, do you feel you're more, what is the first, where do you place yourself?
I can't pick.
Culturally, energetically, a mix of both.
Yeah, and even more.
And even more.
Yeah.
Would you say that German people have a natural presence, a natural energy of confidence? They give that off? Because my sister lives in Germany. I've been there many times, and I felt it. I felt a sense of, yeah, we are German. We do things punctually. We have discipline. We have a history. Because when we look at nationalities, when we look at cultures, when I look at Germany, I see everyone with a strong spine, straight discipline, eating well, driving well, good posture, overall.
It's difficult to say. I wouldn't use the word confidence. I actually would say down to earth more. But I would say compared to other places where I've been, very unflexible.
Oh.
And because that comes with it. When you're very punctual, you're like this has to be in order. It's a lot conditioning.
Wow.
So you're grown, and you were taught this is the way you do things. I'm telling you, in Germany, this is the only place in the world, because I've been a flight carrier, I've been in everywhere in the world, right?
Okay.
where I crossed a red light at 3 a.m. at night.
And then?
In a village. Empty streets, no one is there, there's a red light, so I cross.
Okay.
Oh, no, we were in a car, actually happened many times, but we were in a car with friends and there was just a red light and it's red for so long, no car, 3 a.m., we just continue. There's someone in a car behind us who followed us for 20 minutes and said, I already alarmed the police and I told them that you crossed the red light and you broke the rules and you're gonna get punished now. He invested his time at 3 a.m., he had nothing else to do, and people will, if they see you park wrong, it's like, it's such a, and I'm not saying everyone, but these things never happened anywhere else.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, we stick by the rules, and if you don't stick by the rules, I am going out of my way to make you stick to it as well. At the same time, it makes it difficult sometimes for people to step out of it. Because I believe that to become successful, you have to adapt, and to adapt, you have to evolve. And then it's difficult to let go of this, and like we said, go into the unknown. And now it's like, well, I don't know, so let me stay here where I know how everything works.
And what determined you to not only break your own limitations, break the norm? Because with your coaching, you know, we've spoken a lot. I've heard of, you know, people giving testimonials about your work, and you constantly speak to thousands of people. What made you be so innovative? Like, what sparked this desire for you to innovate and break the mold of what is personal development and how things were done?
Yeah.
You know, and bring poetry and bring all the movie making and translating. Actually, I find you a translator of more heavy conventional terms in more bite size for everybody to understand. What sparked that in you? Did you notice the need, or?
It's a process. So everything that I'm coaching now is, you know, like I said in the beginning, is something that I learned for myself. But over the past 15 years in so many different situations, I was super introverted and shy. I was so self-aware. I was the person. Really. Mm-hmm. You can. If you. The thing is this: the people that know me.
I need proof.
Well, I can. You know, give you the phone number of my mom. You can ask her. I was, you know, like, I was that person. Like, I was the kid when I was really young. I didn't even shake people's hands. When we were invited somewhere, I would hide. I was afraid. I was always by myself. I didn't want to talk to no one, and I was so self-aware. I always thought people are going to think this of me. If I do this wrong, what's going to happen? And then we moved into a new environment so often. And I was always the new one, and I had to adjust to my environment. So without wanting it, I had to adjust and adapt to the rest. But that's the thing. We moved to Belgium, then we moved to Germany. Then, you know, after I studied in Holland. So I was always in a new environment, which is also what made me not be like, for example, people in Ivory Coast or just like Germany. I had many different influences. But also realize, really ask myself this, who am I? Because I could adapt very fast.
Who are you?
Right now,
yeah.
I'm the guest on the Confidence Cafe.
Okay, cheeky.
But the thing is this, your environment, you know, like the same person, you put them in another environment with different people for a longer period of time, is going to affect them. So I realized that I can adjust to people very fast. I understand how people, it's like a new language. You learn the new language, but you also see body language, how people behave, cultures, language.
In other words, what is your genius, if you were to extract it?
I know you like to bring things on a point like this, but the thing is that there's a context to everything. Because otherwise, that's the thing. That's the reason why I believe that people don't understand certain things. They read quotes on Instagram, they hear something like a quick story, and then they feel like, okay, yeah, I feel I got it, but what is really, you know, the essence of it? I really believe that what I started to do was ask a lot of questions. But I was forced to ask. I didn't wake up one morning and said, what is the essence of personal development and what will make people transform? I was asking myself, like, who am I if when I'm in this environment, I can be like this. When I'm here, I can be like this. But I'm basically transforming because of the needs of other people, because I want to please others, because I want to fit in with everyone. But then I realized if I can be this and I can be this, and these two are completely opposite, what do I actually really want? Where do I really want to go? And that's when I started to see, okay, there are many things that are outside in the unknown, and I have this fear, I have this blocks, I don't believe in myself. I see sometimes people achieving things or doing certain things that I don't dare to do myself. And that's what led me on this journey. When I started with filmmaking, I didn't think I'm going to do this and later on I'm going to do that. I didn't know. I said, right now this is the option that I'm seeing, I'm going to go as far as I can in this. So every time, with every business or everything that you do, it's part of the journey, and you're going to take that along into the next step. So I started to realize patterns in my own life, and I started to see these patterns with others. And I didn't come out of my shell and develop this side of myself because I just invented it. I studied other people. I started, personal development. Tony Robbins, I looked at NLP, Eckhart Tolle later, but then Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy. I started with this, and then I really started to, I always love this principle from Bruce Lee, who said, absorb what's useful, reject what's useless, and add what's uniquely yours.
Wow.
But before you can add what's yours, you have to test everything.
And recognize it also.
Exactly. So I need to take everything that I have, I test it, and then I try to understand it. And then I look at it. And I don't only go into one style, I try to study everything. And then I question it. If something works, why does it work? If something doesn't work, why doesn't it work? And then I tested many things on myself, but when I started coaching others, now it extended to situations that I was never in.
How coaching others, and others means hundreds of people, has impacted your confidence as a coach?
On so many levels.
From day one, when you started your first group coaching, to today, May 2020.
So now, again, I want to make a difference between self-confidence and confidence as a coach, right? So before I started, and it's not that long ago, I started, 3.5 years ago, I really started, public speaking.
Yeah, but you were
coaching.
more than 15 years in studying.
In the expertise, but not in coaching.
Right.
So coaching started then.
Right.
So I really literally was in a classroom coaching people 3.5 years ago for the first time. Before that, I never coached, in a setting. So I was confident in my material. But then obviously you need to develop that style, like I was doing courses too long and this, that, to really make it effective. Now, first of all, by seeing the results of others in the period of time, because it's like, sometimes people, they have to figure out, for example, when you want to lose weight, if you don't know and you figure things out, sometimes you might take 6 years to get a result that now that you know everything and you give it to someone, they can get the same result in 1 year. So actually, they get the results much faster. The people that I coach, they get results much faster than me.
Wow.
Much faster.
Wow.
I'm like, it took me years to get to this point. They get there in a couple of months. And I'm like, man, so it helps me to tune it in. But then the thing is this, you never reach the top. So now that I'm going back to the basics with them, first of all, it's reminding me of where I started. So then again, like the past, it's reinforcing it in me.
Wow.
Because now I have new challenges where I'm again at the beginning, where I again need courage to go to the next level. But because I'm coaching everyone and I'm going back to where I started, I'm applying the same principles to my new situations. So I'm coaching myself while I'm coaching others. But now the thing is this, in the beginning, I believed that I can help a lot of people. Now I know it. I have the facts. Now the thing is, it just extends because everyone has the different identity, the different problems. Sometimes it's situations that I've never been in, but because I understand it's a principle, it applies. People can apply these things on situations that I've never been in.
Hence my next question. Assuming that many of the people who are tuning in right now, or they will watch this later, are people who have been made redundant, or the economy is changing. A lot of people are being affected. I know you are a huge fan of the hero's journey. I know that you are helping people in more ways than we can say here in 1 hour on YouTube. What are few tactics, techniques, ways of dealing with the loss of a job and not having enough finances for the next few months and dealing with the unknown? How could you help them a little?
See, it's always important to have a reference point.
Okay.
So that's why I would always go by one system or by one situation, right?
Okay.
And that's why when I talk to people, it's like I always ask a lot of questions, because many times people say, this is my situation, I have this problem. But the thing is that a lot of times they didn't even assess their situation good enough. They don't know the options. They don't even really look at everything that's there.
Maybe they just panicked and they reacted.
Exactly. They say, I can't do this, I have no other way, and then it's like, is that really true? So let's go back. So I asked them questions. By asking them questions, they actually start to do an inventory of everything. Because, and I'm going to come back to the one situation where, where I said, I was here in Dubai and I was homeless for like 9 months. It started, when I summarize it, it sounds like, oh, and then I made it through and then all of a sudden it was successful. But I had exactly that point where I said, I have nothing, I have no money, I have no place to stay. Basically I'm at zero. And that's the perspective where I was in. But one question that got me out is, what's good about this? What do I have?
What's
what
good
are my
about
options?
this?
What's good about this? Exactly. Like, what's good about this? Because right now you might say nothing is good about this. Well, what's good about this? I have nothing. Is that true? What do I have? And then if you just take enough time to sit down and answer these questions, you start to open up. And then you really look at, okay, what do I really want? A lot of times people, they're rejecting the biggest gifts that the universe is giving them.
Right.
They've been looking they actually need a reason to start doing something else.
Yeah.
But they couldn't make the choice. Now life made a choice for them and they're resisting it. But it's a process. So that's why it's just like, I always tell people I don't have any secret. There are always two secrets. There's a strategy and then there is the information that you have in your brain about your own life. And if we bring them together, that is how the secret, forms, because it's a process. And I believe, like you said earlier, a lot of people, they want this quick fix. What is one thing that if I know it right now, it's going to solve everything? That is the biggest limitation. Impatience and not being willing to really look into it.
And how to deal with the shame?
Shame of what?
Of being made redundant, of not having enough savings, of not having lived a mindful, not having, not be ready for this crisis.
Shame is an emotion that we create ourselves. So first of all, it's important to own it and to ask ourselves, why are we shaming ourselves and what's actually the purpose of shame? I think that feeling guilty is valid. I can feel guilty because I'm responsible for this. If I'm, the difference between guilt and shame is, guilt is I did something bad. Shame is I did something bad, so I'm bad. And so that means I can never be good. I messed up. I'm just stupid. Okay, so what are you going to do now? Guilt is, okay, you know what? I'm responsible for this and I will apologize to people or I will learn from that situation.
Humility will take you out of shame.
Yes.
And taking responsibility. We have a very nice engagement here on YouTube. I haven't had a chance to read because obviously I had so much work to do to test Ben. Someone says, hello, stunning. I love it. I completely agree with your guest. We often look for the easy way when instead we need to persevere and trust and have faith that what you need will come. All the way from Romania, someone says, Raymond Rivera says, question, what do you do when people or situation puts you off center and puts you off balance and you lose your self-esteem?
So, okay.
It's external, right?
Look, the thing is this. How can someone or something affect my self-esteem? Self-esteem means the esteem that I have of myself. But the thing is that a lot of times we react to people from the outside. So now it's important, something is just a problem because it bothers you. If someone says something and it gets me off my center, a lot of times people say, if this person changes, if this situation changes, if this and this happens, then I'm going to feel better. I can feel more comfortable if everything else changes, if the circumstances changes, when I have more money, when I have this. But now is the thing. That's when you actually have to do the inner work to take responsibility of your thoughts, where your focus goes and where your emotions are created. And again, that's a process. It's a lot of people, they just want to know, I was talking to my parents, they said this and I felt like this and I don't like when my parents talk like, and it's like you're focused on other people.
For everyone tuning in right now or who is already on the live, I've been having countless amazing chats with Ben. And if you are thinking to do your inner work, just benouattara.com, his website, or his podcast, I Am Possible, or Facebook, or Twitter, or Instagram, or Pinterest. He's everywhere. You can easily reach him and find him. Can I test you for one more time and one more time?
Test me.
Test you? Ferrari or Bentley?
None.
Oy, pick one.
Bentley.
Ferrari or Bentley? Why not? What's wrong with Ferrari?
Bentley is more comfortable.
Penthouse or villa?
Penthouse.
Why not villa?
Later villa, now penthouse.
Okay.
Because villa is more outside, penthouse be in the city, and right now I want to be in the heart of the city.
Famous or wealthy?
Why choose?
I'm telling you to choose.
Wealthy.
Why not famous?
Because fame doesn't really mean much to me. You know, I could, for example, help many people and no one knows me. That would mean more than being famous and not making much impact. If I'm wealthy, I can only create wealth by helping other people. So that means if I'm very wealthy, I helped a lot of people.
Okay. Listen to these words and make up a 2-minute story. And please entertain our friends from Confidence Cafe on YouTube.
Okay,
Listen to this. Pay attention.
Let's do it.
Hairspray.
Okay.
Love. Carpet. Private jet. And because I'm nice, I will repeat the 4 words. Hairspray, love, carpet, private jet. Make up a story on the spot and show us your confidence. Live on Confidence Cafe. Don't you love me for testing him? Hairspray.
Hairspray, love, carpet, private jet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just incorporate these 4 words in a story.
So, after making love, and of course, because it was wild, I was not laying in my bed, but on the floor, on the carpet, I was visualizing having made love in my private jet as I looked to the side and saw that my wife left her spray of a hairspray, you know, on the floor. That's it. I don't know.
Good, good. Good. You took the challenge. Good. Give me your comments on a tree with strong roots laughs at storms. A tree with strong roots laughs at storms.
So you want me to do what? To elaborate on it?
Just your comments in like a minute.
Okay. So I know that trees actually create strong roots out of 2 reasons. One, because when a wind comes, they need to grasp on more. So the roots actually become stronger the heavier the weather. And when the soil doesn't really have a lot of water, so they actually have to dig much deeper into the ground. So these are not perfect conditions. So actually, because the conditions, the environment, because the soil is the environment and the air, the environment was tough on the tree, it became stronger, had deeper roots, which much more connected to many different, you know, to the ground, but, you know, had stronger roots. That's why when there is a strong storm, it can survive, and all the trees or the plants that were actually safe and had the water, they didn't really have to dig very deep, and they didn't have no wind in the past because everything was sheltered, they will break. And that's coming back to what you said earlier. When someone, for example, always had a job and it was always safe, and now they're thinking about leaving that and going out and something is new, it's very difficult, and the storm is going to feel much stronger than someone who has started from 0 5 times, and the same situations, they're going to be like, so what? I have 50,000 debt and I need to pay it back. I can make it back. And that's actually something when there was one situation where I actually had like around, I don't even know, like 30, 40,000, you know, euros debt. And I was just like, oh man, I have to pay things back. And I was sitting with someone and he said, what are you talking about? I had $1 million debt and I came back 2 years later and I made it all back. What? This is nothing. This is a joke. And then it put it in perspective. And then it's just like, that's why it's important who you surround yourself with. You always, you know, you look at something and you see, oh, that's it. And then you look at someone else and you're like, that's nothing. So yeah, I think that strong conditions that you actually don't like, bad weather, makes you stronger for what comes in the future.
Well, I've chosen this quote because I think it's a perfect representation, a reflection of who you are and how you come across to me and how your work comes across. So it's not a coincidence. Mm-hmm. I want to thank you very much because obviously 60 minutes passed like that. Your favorite sound.
Thank you so much, yes.
If you have enjoyed the show, keep on commenting. Thank you so much, Ben, for helping me inaugurate and launch Confidence Cafe.
Thank you.
We are going to be here twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday. So see you Friday, also around maybe 6 p.m. here Dubai time. I trust that you felt cozier. I trust that everything that Ben shared has reached your soul, has made you feel more comfortable and more confident. And if you want more caffeine and more confidence, welcome back and come back to Confidence Cafe. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Andrea. It was amazing.